What is going on, guys? We're back with another video today, and we are going to talk about Madden 20 and the franchise teams we have. This year is going to be a little bit different for me. You know, normally we have a legacy franchise. We have a NFC North franchise, which is kind of like a more realistic style. That is until I start streaming and you guys start bullying me into taking random players and trading for everyone in the league. And the final one would be a fantasy draft relocation. I'm debating on what we want to do with the relocation. I don't even know if I want to do one this year. If I do, I think it would be something we wait for later on in the season. You know, every franchise can't last forever, even though we kind of did that this year. So I think we'll do a fantasy draft, maybe even we'll definitely do a relocation, maybe a fantasy draft relocation, maybe a little bit later down the line, maybe in like December. But of course, as many of you guys know, we are the Buccaneers in our legacy franchise. It's kind of a bottom 5 roster, but at the same time, there is a lot of potential. Now, Ronald Jones, he's a little rough in Madden 20. He only has normal development trait, you know, as expected. But he's actually pretty fast. I'm not sure why he's so slow here. 92 speed. I think he's even faster in Madden 20. Surprisingly, though, Jameis Winston, at least at the time of the beta, he was actually like an 80 overall with star development trait. So there's actually a lot of potential for him. I know he needs a contract, but I think we may just actually rock long-term, Jameis Winston. He's never really gotten the love in the legacy franchise. He's always been a backup. He's played like maybe 1 or 2 snaps, 1 or 2 games a season, and then the backups, the backup treatment. This team actually has a very underrated wide receiver core. This Scott Miller guy, I don't know who made this roster. Sorry, this is just kind of like a tester roster. He's going to be 10 times faster than this. I think Scott Miller ran like a 4.35 or something ridiculous. So he's going to be very fast as long as they pay attention. So we have ourselves a very fast slot receiver. We have a go-get-it X Factor. And then we have a mid-tier Chris Godwin here. Other than age from Mike Evans, this is a really good, receiving core. And, of course, O.J. Howard's really good in the game as well. Another thing that worries me is the offensive line. We have Ali Marpet, and that's pretty much it. DeMar Dotson, he's at the end of his term here. Shaquille Barrett, he was okay from what I've seen. Not super ecstatic about, the D-line. Of course, instead of Gerald McCoy, it will be a Damakong Suh. Not a huge fan of that, but we do have Vita, so it's fine, I suppose. And then linebackers, Devin White, obviously a very big component of why we chose the Buccaneers. Beckwith, he's slower, but he is kind of young, so it's fine there. And another thing that really pisses me off is Levante David has star dev. You could make the case for X Factor, but the fact that he's not even a superstar is so disrespectful. I don't know. I think even Moonlight Swami said the 2 most underrated players in the league are like Levante David and someone else, and like he works for EA, so hopefully he can get me some pull. Please, I need it. And then cornerbacks, they're very a little slow, but even though they're kind of low overalls, there is a lot of potential. The development traits worry me, though. Hargraves has bad development trait. The rookies weren't finished, so I'm not sure about Sean Bunting. Jamel, he's going to be like our number 2 corner. Like, he's going to be so fast. He ran a 4.3, super good jumping. He's amazing. He's going to be our number 2 corner. We're going to have Bunting at number 3. There's a lot of youth on this team. Of course, free safety of Justin Evans. And then strong safety, I'd probably just move MJ Stewart over if I'm allowed to. I'm usually the low overall guys with, not great talents, they let you move them over. I don't know what he's actually going to be in the game, but like he doesn't really look great here. So if they won't let me move him over, year 1, that'd be kind of unfair because he's slow as hell anyways. Maybe move Justin to strong and then move him to free. And then kicker, that's obviously been a problem for this team. We'll see. But there's a lot to work on. This isn't going to be your average LA legacy, LA Chargers legacy franchise winning several Super Bowls. We might not even win one. But I think that'll be more fun to really work with a roster that has lots and lots of needs. There's obviously a lot of potential on the offense, but there's a lot of missing pieces. So we'll see what we can do about that. And then, of course, the team a lot of people wanted. We're going to be the Niners. It's going to be our main, offline franchise. Jimmy Garoppolo's contract worries me. He's going to have to be the guy for a little while, which kind of sucks, but that's just the way it is. Running back, not a huge fan, not going to lie. Tevin Coleman, I like that he's fast, but there's not really a super work him up guy here that I'm excited about, really, to be honest. Receiving core, I know, Debo, Dante Pettis, they've got a little bit of speed on the team, but nothing really crazy. Kittle, obviously going to be the main receiving talent. Offensive line, big issue as well. Definitely a big issue. But then you go to the defensive line. That is where you really strive. This is one of the most underrated defensive lines in the league. Quan Alexander, new pickup, huge pickup. Fred Warner, decent. Cornerbacks, Richard Sherman, Jason Verrett was a nice little one-year steal. Safeties, I mean, there's a lot of work up on this team as well, so it's not going to be a go in and just have the greatest team ever situation. It's going to be a couple of years before we have really a solid roster. Of course, once again, if we're doing a relocation league, I don't know what the hell, what team we're going to be. It really doesn't matter. Maybe we'll relocate the Dolphins. Actually, we may have done that for the Express. Or was that the No, we did a Broncos fantasy. We did an Express. And then, of course, we did the Browns, which were the Desperados. So I'm not sure exactly what team. I think the Dolphins may have been the Express. I'm pretty sure. I'm not actually 100% sure, but maybe the Dolphins. It really doesn't matter because obviously, we'll relocate quickly. Kyler Murray would be super fun, but we can obviously, if we're doing a fantasy draft, we could just draft Kyler Murray. I mean, I don't know when he'll go. Of course, we'll have another video up for you guys into Madden 20 pretty early, and then we'll do one after the rosters settle in after the Super Bowl of how to draft in a fantasy draft. I always love making those videos because I love fantasy drafts, and knowing exactly who the gems are, it's nice. It's nice to have, this year's was McCaffrey. You can get him in around like 20 or whatever. So it'll be interesting to see that. And then, of course, the quarterback one mode. I want to continue the NFC North, so I think we may go to the Vikings and try to replace Kirk Cousins. It's a very good roster, but of course, when you're only the quarterback, you can't control everything. Obviously, still, even with the addressment of the line, I don't even know if addressment is a word, you're still going to have some issues, so it's not going to be like you're going to win every game with this roster. But I think if we're going to continue this NFC North trend and we don't want to actually use one of them as the franchise, we can be the Vikings with a quarterback. I mean, you can make the argument with the Lions, but I think Stafford's a little bit better, and I also think their roster is going to be a lot harder to work with. I mean, you look here, there's actually some pretty good names in fairness, but the Vikings are a little bit better, I think. And once again, this roster is far from correct. I've already seen some of the names, and some of the overalls aren't great. But I think if you can change your height and weight as well, like, we're definitely going to use some special player. We're not going to just go out and, make a random player, a normal guy. We're going to do something funny, something weird. I have a good idea. Let me know in the comments section if you have an idea. Like, if, every single person, if there's, 20 comments that say Johnny Manziel or, Terrell Pryor, something weird, obviously we'll do it if, it's a majority decision. But I'm thinking, do I say it? Do I say it? I'm thinking of the Hefty Lefty. I don't know if you guys know of him, but he's a nice 300-pound left-handed quarterback. So I'm not a huge fan of left-handed quarterbacks, but I am a huge fan of fun giant players, I mean, I don't know if he's really giant, but he's large. I know in real life he's really large now. I think he's double the size of what he was. So I would be really disappointed if this series blew up because, I don't want to say anything bad, like he croaked it or something, but I'm just saying. Hopefully the man's getting that weight down, but I think the Hefty Lefty would be kind of fun. Obviously, I want to delve into Madden Ultimate Team a little bit more this year. Last year I maybe played a month or two in. I did a bunch of solo challenges, and then I kind of gave up on the game. And even lately, we've been doing a few draft champions. I don't really like online Madden because it's super OP. And even not OP, but cheesy. And this year is going to be even worse because, of course, there's going to be all these X factors you're going to have to deal with and all this crap. So, I don't know. Maybe I don't get back in Ultimate Team again, but I want to give it a little bit better of a go. And then, obviously, we're going to do a ton of rebuilds, more experiments. I mean, we didn't do a whole lot this year because, A, we already did a bunch the year before. And then, obviously, as the years go on, other people are doing all the experiments. I don't want to just copy every single one. You know, I don't want I don't want to keep doing the exact same ones over and over unless it's relevant. So, I don't know. I have a good idea of what we're going to do in Madden 20, and I think the quarterback 1 mode, once again, if you can change the weight, whether or not, we're going to try it out. I mean, maybe even day 1, everyone's going to be wanting to play that. So, day 1, we may even stream like an hour of QB1 and then do like an hour of something else. I don't know, maybe Ultimate Team. But yeah, I'm excited for Madden 20. Hopefully you guys are as well. Hopefully you guys were watching this video. The views have been really, really rough lately, as expected, but it really, like, worse than I would have expected, in fairness. But anyways, if you're new to the channel, maybe subscribe. It really would mean a lot. You know, if you're new, give me a chance, okay? Just stop clicking off the video. Give this man a chance. I can't wait to use Devin White. I mean, you know, this guy has him as the fastest player in the league, which is probably pretty fair. Anyways, hopefully, wow, who is this guy? He might be even faster, kinda, not really. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Like the video if you liked it. Anyways, hopefully you come back for next video. But until next video, see ya.